Peace and beautiful blessings to you, abundant souls. I'm Shamanic Money Priestess, and today I have a reading for you for the month of May. So I call these readings your money messages. I tune into the frequency of abundance, of money, and pull cards to see what guidance there is to offer you on activating abundance, on connecting more with money. And so that's what we are going to do today. I'll be using the Divine Abundance Oracle along with the Cosmic Visions Tarot, which is a deck that I really love to use for these readings. They come through very potent messages. So I've already shuffled and pulled the cards, so I will share them with you and then share my insights, and that will be your reading. So this will carry you through the month of May. So always, as always with any reading, take what resonates and leave what does not. So this will be a collective message channeled for money. So the overall theme or energy of this May money message is your inner child. And I really love this because what I see is like this is the lotus around it just blossoming open. And I feel like this is a rebirth. I feel like this is not necessarily about you being wounded, but coming out of that space where maybe you didn't get what you needed as a child, whether it was physical things or whether it was the emotional care and tending that you needed, that somehow has impacted your worth or your ability to feel and to know and to believe that you deserve to be abundant, that you deserve all good things. So it says, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Lately, I have been doing a lot of my own inner child work, and a lot of that is centering around self-forgiveness and just giving little me what she needed, and also just coming to a knowledge and understanding that as children, we're not necessarily in control. We are in some ways, we're just at the mercy of the adults, the caretakers in our lives. And so having that compassion and that understanding and forgiving yourself for whatever mistakes you feel that you have made, or ways in which you did not speak up or advocate for yourself, or for seeing how you maybe, weren't allowed or able to even speak up or to be seen or any of those things. So it's really coming to a place of knowing that, yes, inner child, I see you, I feel you, I witness you, but now I'm able to tend for you. I'm now able to care for us. And so there's this aspect of also of reparenting, and that's also something that I saw in the cards that I pulled as well. So I pulled 6 cards, and we're going to look at kind of like where we are, or what we're moving out of, and what is before you. So within this reading, I do see that there's a lot of healing. So we've got the 3 of Swords, and this is the card of, it's known as like grief, of heartache. When I see this card, often it is a reminder to me, because swords represent our thoughts. There's our intellect. It's how we communicate. You might be in a place where you're almost like reliving trauma, or you're making decisions from a wounded place. It's not necessarily someone broke my heart. Yes, you may very well be hurting. There are maybe some things that you are grieving, or poignant healings that need to take place. But this is also an indication that we can shift our mindset out of victimhood, out of struggle, and into abundance. So there's a mindset shift here that needs to take place. Of course, if you are dealing with, trauma, or struggling with things like self-love, self-care, with self-esteem, and it's not something that you can manage on your own, I always do advocate for mental health care, whatever that may look like for you. Make sure that you are getting the support that you need so that you can move through this energy. But for the most part, I feel like there is an awakening that's happening with the colors that are coming out. Like you're realizing the ways in which maybe you were hurt, or the ways in which maybe you were not, didn't have access to the things that you need. So instead of seeing that and allowing it to keep you in a stuck or small space, you're seeing ways in which that you can now advocate for yourself, that you can now put some salve or some type of healing on these places and move about differently. So instead of seeing that, okay, well, I've always struggled with money, or I didn't have money growing up, you're like, wow, I know what it's like when I don't have what I need. So I'm going to use that to fuel me to take the steps so that I'm not in that situation. I get to choose differently based on the wounds or the struggles of my past. Okay, so I feel here this is also like breaking up with habits that no longer serve you, thoughts that no longer serve you, old ways of thinking, and things that were keeping you limited. Sometimes you have to acknowledge those things, and then now we're choosing to do something better. And then here we have the Four of Pentacles. This is almost like trying to really find that foundation. You know what it is that you didn't have, or the things that you did have that weren't necessarily helping you in the realm of abundance. And so now you're trying to create that solid foundation that says, okay, yes, I can create abundance. I can build my savings. I can start that business. I can love myself. I can show up fully. Whatever that is for you, there's more of a focus and a grounding here. And there is still some of that with the Five of Pentacles. This is always the card of almost like not enoughness. Like you have these ideas, you have the thoughts in your mind of what it is that you want to plant and what you want to see grow in your life, what it is that you want to manifest, but almost like she's closed off. It's like your heart and mind are not connected, right? Your mind has all the ideas, like you're focused, like you know what it is that you want, you can see it, but maybe you still don't fully believe that it's possible for you. You've got your heart closed off, almost afraid to like let go and just allow these things to really bloom and blossom for you. So just be mindful of that. And the thing about this type of energy where maybe you don't feel worthy, or you've, had a lot of struggles or trauma or what, or various circumstances that have made you feel that you can't have it, that you can't manifest the life, the money, the relationship, the house, the car, the whatever it is. I'll say this is that doesn't necessarily go away completely. When we reach a new level, there might be new fears to unlock, right? The higher you go up, you might find new ways in which you are challenged or triggered. So just be mindful of that. Don't think that because, okay, you got out of one situation, everything's good, and now here comes this other thing that you didn't make it, or that does not count, because that's not the case. Everything matters. Everything counts. Even in my own life, once I finished massage school, I got my massage license, I started working as a massage therapist, and guess what? There were new challenges, like, okay, is this workspace aligned for me? What type of work do I want to do? And I don't really like this, and just different things to experience and navigate on our journey through life. So just be mindful of that. This is always going to be something that you want to be aware of is, what are the fears that are coming up? What are the ways in which I'm limiting myself? What foundation do I have? Is this a solid foundation? If it's not, what type of changes can I make so that this does become a foundation on which I can build my abundantly ever after? And if you're new to me, abundantly ever after is the phrase that I use to describe the life that I want to live, no matter what, right? So this is after experiencing pain, after experiencing trauma, heartache, all the things. What is my wildest dream? What is it that I want for myself? What type of life do I want to live? What type of relationships do I want to have? So it's not just about being happy, but this is about experiencing abundance in all areas of your life, whether that's travel, whether that is love, whether that is money, whether it's success, whether it's having a business, no matter what. So everyone abundantly ever after is going to look completely different because we all are unique and we have our own desires. So when I say abundantly ever after, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dream that you have for your life. That is your abundantly ever after. And it's, for some people, it might be just, a kind of, I don't want to say small, but it might not be something that's super grandiose. My abundantly ever after is pretty grandiose. And that's great. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever it is that you've wanted. And for me, the abundantly ever after that I have is something that I've wanted since I was a little child, which again, the inner child, right? We know we are born with knowings. We are born with so much information within us that gets pushed down because of upbringing or society or fear or whatever the case may be. So there's also this need to reconnect to that wise inner being within us, because we know exactly what it is that we need. And that's what I'm seeing here. So we've got both the Emperor and the Empress. And so when I saw this pairing along with the inner child, what it made me think of was the ways in which we can reparent ourselves, the ways in which we can heal and align with our divine masculine, the ways in which we can heal and align with our divine feminine. The Emperor, right, that represents Aries season, or Aries, which we just moved out of Aries season. And that's all about doing. It's about initiating. It's about following that passion. It's about leading. And the Empress, she is the receiver, and as you can see, she's rooted and she's growing something that's creativity, literal representation of abundance. What is it that you can birth in your life through the actions that you are taking that will help you not only move through the mindset challenges and the daily habit shifts that you need to make in the month of May, but how can you also tend to yourself, right? What is it that you want to manifest? Because I do see that happening if you are open to it, and if you're taking these steps towards the intention or the goal that you set for yourself. With the Ace of Pentacles, I feel that this is very likely. This is a yes card. This is manifestation. This is, you have the key, or in this aspect, you have the pentacle, like you have it there in your hand. What are you going to do with it? So if you're worried that you may not make it, that you may not make your goals, things might be challenging at first, but I do see things opening up. The more that you care for yourself, the more that you center yourself, the more that you are nurturing yourself, mind, body, soul, and financially as well. And the more that you put yourself out there. So for some people, it might be asking for help. Maybe it's looking for another job. Maybe it's starting your podcast or your YouTube channel, or whatever the case may be. There's some action that you need to take that's going to allow you to manifest what it is that you want for yourself. If you don't know yet what that is, or if you haven't set an intention or a goal for yourself, take a moment to do that. The more that you have clarity on what it is that you want, where it is you want to go, the things that you do and do not want to experience, it makes it easier for you to adopt habits and beliefs and thoughts and collect people and experiences and opportunities that are in alignment with that. Because when you know exactly what it is that you want, you can say no to anything that's outside of that. And I think that's very, very, very important. So I am focused on a very small few things for myself this year. And I've been saying no to a lot of things. And some of these things seem like really, really great opportunities. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I can't. Like, this is what my goal is for my life, for my personal life, for, you know, my relationships as a mother, my friendships, like, and my business. I know exactly what it is that I want to do, and I have to stay focused on that, because that is what is going to allow that to manifest. The more that I'm focused, the more that I am clear, I know that anything outside of my priorities, I can say no to that, and I don't have to feel bad about it, because saying no now doesn't mean I can't do it later. It just means that right now I need to focus all my energy, my time, and my resources on the things that I have deemed important for me now. And so some of the things that we will also talk about in the realm of like money and manifesting are like really shifting, looking at money as just something that we need to buy things, and recognizing it as an energy, as a tool. And I used to talk about this with love as well. Love is an energy, it's abundant. And the more that we really look at it from that more divine aspect and recognize that this is really something that's beautiful, and that it's something that we can make tangible, and it's something that's surrounding us at all times, the more that we can kind of let down our guard, right? And be open to know that abundance is everywhere and it is all around us. Like, we don't have to close ourselves off. We don't have to think that, oh, well, if I do this, then it's going to take away from that person. Or, well, there's too many people with YouTube channels, so I shouldn't make my own. There is enough of everything for everyone. And there are a lot of, I'll say programming that makes it seem like everything's a struggle, that there's not enough, that we've got to fight and only the strong will survive, and it's dog eat dog, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So that's just a little food for thought when we can shift our overall mindset to really focus on gratitude, focus on abundance. And on some of the days where I'm just like not feeling abundant and just not in my abundant thinking, nature is one of the best examples that we have for abundance. Can you count the blades of grass in your yard? Can you count the number of leaves on a tree, the stars in the sky? They're abundant. And the more that we can look at abundance as not just being money, but as abundance showing up in the multiple forms that it exists in. Love is abundance, money is abundance, food, the hairs on your head, you cannot count those. So there's just so many different ways to look at abundance, and that's really what I am here to do, is to 1, expand your vision, 2, help you open your heart, and 3, help you activate abundance. Because when you can do those things, then you can truly start to live abundantly ever after. So again, for the month of May, you'll be moving through some energies. You might be feeling a lot of things. We are also moving through an eclipse portal, which I know for me has brought up a lot of stuff. A lot is being cleared and activated and highlighted and just all the things. So pay attention to what you're feeling, how you're spending your time. How are you also spending your money? We'll talk about budgeting and things like that, because that too is important to know how to handle and manage your money, so that when you get more money, you can handle and manage that too. But really, like, make sure you're taking the steps. If you say that, okay, I want to manifest my dream body, right? Whatever that might be. Part of that is going to be working out. So if you're like, okay, in order to do that, I want to work out 3 times a week. You have to get up and go do the workout, whether that's going to the gym, walking up and down the street, lifting the weights, whatever that is. You have to do it, or it's not going to happen. So I will leave you with that. And and remember, you have the Ace of Pentacles, so it is all possible. We sometimes sabotage ourselves because something seems hard, or it seems like it's not possible, or it seems that it's just not meant for us. But it's right there. You have it. The Ace is saying, I am here. All you need to do is just do this. Put your hand out. So in order to receive your pentacle, what steps do you need to take? What steps would be you putting your hand out to the divine, or to the universe, or to source, and saying, I'm doing the thing, I'm ready. And you open your hands and you receive it because you took the steps to meet yourself halfway. And that's one of the other beautiful things, right? So we look at this energy where it's a lot of wounding, it's a lot of just not fully being open. Look at the energy of these cards. There's a bit of like sadness, there's a bit of closed offness, there's a bit of grounding, but also not necessarily fully connected. That's what I'm seeing in these cards, right? There's no full connectedness. Whereas here, we've got something completely different. This feels like completion. It feels more aligned. It feels just more sacred. So there's, in the journey of manifesting and living abundantly ever after and healing and all the things, it's not just about getting the thing or doing or having or being. It's about who you become and how you grow and evolve in the process. And that's why I said, even like fitness can be a spiritual journey. Manifesting is a spiritual journey, because you're changing, you're reprogramming yourself, you're activating higher levels of yourself in so many different ways. So I will close out here. I'm sending you an abundance of love, of joy, of bliss, of success. May all your May manifestations come to fruition. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. I want to continue doing more readings, providing more guidance around money and manifesting and probably healing and just all the different things that are part of this journey, because I think it's all very important. And I think the more that we have support, the more success that we can all see. And I look forward to sharing my journey with you, sharing more about who I am, why this exists, and what you can expect from me in the future. So I will see you soon. Peace.